Yes, I think Manish made a very valid point while he said many things, but one important thing he talked about is learning cannot be pushed onto people, it has to be pulled by people. And how many of you have really seated on the emergency exit in an aircraft? And whenever you have done that, I'm sure the air hostess would have come to you and then explained to you how to operate it in the time of an emergency. How many of you can actually do this? So that's the truth about learning. We learn only when we want to learn. If you don't want to learn, nobody on this earth can make us learn. So that's the truth. So I think, thank you Manish for this interesting perspective. So we'll now open it up for questions. I'll probably break the ice in case you're not ready, but if you're ready with a question, we'll straight away go to you. Yes.
My name is Shavar Banu. My first question is, we all heard from you about the fast pace and learning, chewing and slow pace. Very interesting topics, but first thing is, whenever we talk to our managers and directors, they always say 40 hours is mandated. Do we really need that 40 hours? We always question and they say, yes, it is by far in the industry trend that it is 40 hours. But I think as we go ahead in the life, I don't think 40 hours is what we are learning. Why 40 hours? So I want you all panelists to just throw some light. Is 40 hours still a trend or should we just go away with it?
I'll share a personal experience.
Sorry.
You know, whenever this was mandated to me, you know, this is a mandatory training, what I do is, I open my laptop, let the training goes on for an hour's time. I'm doing it. And I tell this to people, so... You're on camera. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, that's fine. You know, we'll never be able to achieve by mandating that, you know, you have to do this, you know, 40 hours of training and all. Impossible. You know, just share the objective, the purpose, and then people will know how to go about it. So I don't think, you know, 40 hours or 10 courses or X number of days, you know, does not make sense.
I mean, we face something like this because when we want to move our PMS from the conventional to the neologistic way of delivering PMS in a digital mode, we felt when we want to talk about learning, where are we going to say 30 grams, 100 grams tablet form, and then we say this is how it's good for you, and 40 for everyone. And here the technology, where we say it's based on technology, time and element of location, it's going to be anytime, any place, anywhere. Do I going to give a prescribed element? So that's when we thought we should move away from that kind of concept. And when we did that, because we got into the mode of unlimited energy point and the coverage end, we started doing the metric from the result perspective, where we want to see not just because your mode can be different, but the package can be different, but we kept a leeway range, say bare minimum, when we say unlimited, because it can be anytime he as the preference, and say a curated content. We had some 9 elements around it, and we found it, if somebody can do that 9 elements, it was so awesome. Say you're having a content accessible, and you are having something you're more bound to your, we call the MVAK, where your learning is more to the multimedia way of visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or is it a chunked content you like, or the content you like is something current, and is it easily updatable, and then is your content more, say, mobile in nature, and then is it social in nature. So these kind of things we started measuring out, and rather than saying number 10 hours, weekly 7 hours, something like that. And we did that. We did a cross metric with the results, and if that guy, his sales increases, his cycle time of hiring increases, and then we said, you're in there. That's all.
It doesn't really give empowerment to people. It doesn't give that time which we was talking about. So accept compliance, employee health and safety, anti-bribery, or induction program. It's at their time, because we have to accept and understand which generation are we hiring. I mean, let's go back to our homes. Can we put these rules to our children? Let's be honest, we are HR, leaders. We have to understand and be flexible in creating a culture, a mindset which can, kind of promote self-ownership to learning. The days are gone wherein you can push people on hourly basis. They will get frustrated. They will feel that this is not something which I want to do. This is not in line with my career aspirations. And this is something which, of course, is dependent on your organization needs, the culture, the level that you have reached in terms of maturity. And I think that's the way, at least, we see in our organization.
See, I have a very different perspective. You need to understand what kind of talent you're dealing with. I think there is nothing called one size fits all, number one. Number two, let us realize technology is a means to solve a problem and not an end in itself. So let's not become the slaves of technology. Okay, I'm sorry for contradicting, but let me say this. Because you need to have different interventions for different people. So what happens is there are people who are very, very intuitive, who are very, very passionate about learning, and you don't need anything for them. They will be on their own. But there are certain community in the organization who needs to be pushed. Because you, as HR, your job is to take the whole organization to a new level. If your intention is to do that, you better apply different standards, different yardsticks for different people. I'm not saying, HR has become the rule book creator today. You don't have to. But, you have to entice people to do different things. So I still feel you need a blend of the best of both worlds. Okay, that's what my view. Thank you.